So far, right? Just how are you feeling? How important is it for you to feel good, to play good, and kind of where are you at on your journey as far as feeling like this is the time for you to take the step that you want us to take?
Right now, I'm 100% healthy, no nicks, no bruises, nothing like that. And like they say, you feel good, you're gonna play better. So, yeah.
What do you want? What do you want out of this year for you? What was your real commitment to coming into this year? Things that you wanted to work on, things that you wanted to improve?
Mainly my route running and hand placement, because I struggled catching the ball a little bit last year. That's one of the main things I've been working on.
And what do you feel like you can contribute as far as like a guy that you can run every route, can take the top off? Like, where do you feel like you flex the most?
I'm improving on running routes, but I think ideally I could take the top off. That's kind of the main thing that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it working with Nussmeier full time now? Is it any different than any quarterback in the past? And you see a commitment that he's really made to working with y'all?
So like I said, I came in with Nuss, so that kind of like connection had already been established from when like we first got here. So now like y'all are getting like almost the finished product.
As far as the big three that we're talking about this year with you and Kyron and CJ, it seems like you're taking the bulk of the reps, right? With most of the first team. I guess what kind of rapport do you guys have, and how do all three of y'all work well together?
I would say starts in the film room with Coach Hank. He preparing us for practice each day, and then we take from the meeting room. We just bring it to the grass.
What kind of guys are Kyron and CJ? And there's another one I can't think of. Isn't there another transfer? Zay?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of guys are they, and how are they fitting in?
I would say all characters. To be honest, like we a fun group. If you ask anybody, we pretty much we bring the energy to the offense.
Yeah. As far as Cortez, he's done such a good job developing you guys the last couple of years. How are you working with him, and what is it like to have him as your position coach?
He's played the game before, so he knows what he's talking about. So every time he has a correction towards me, I just take it and apply it for the next rep.
Any significance to changing your number this year?
Yeah, so it was my line number, which was 3, and my line name is also Triple Crown, so it kind of goes together.
So fraternity thing?
Yeah.
To make you look faster when you're wearing a single digit? I don't know.
Nah, same speed.
Same speed.
Yeah.
The bowl game and the big catch you made towards the end and just the overall performance you had, what did that mean to you to kind of finish off the season that way?
I mean, it wasn't the season that I had hoped for personally for myself. So to end it on that note, it kind of carried over into the season. So, yeah.
Kind of, I guess, take me through your injuries, because quite honestly, I feel like there's too many I can't remember them. So, like, starting back freshman year, I guess, where are we at now? Kind of, do you feel like you've had something every year?
Almost. So I started with my left meniscus my freshman year. Going into the sophomore year, it was my right meniscus, and then it was my right labrum right here. It was 3 surgeries in 2 years. Yeah.
How do you stay positive and focused through all that?
It was tough. Kind of got off the right path a little bit, but I had to keep faith in God and just trusting His plan, not knowing that it's not my plan. It's His. So yeah.
Who got you back on the path?
I would say most of it was my mental, but also Sherman Wilson. He helped me out a lot.
Nice. You're not a guy that talks a lot, right? You're not a loud guy.
Nah.
So what is it? Like, where does your passion come from? Where does your fire come from? How do you get and stay motivated through tough times like that?
I would say ever since I've gotten here, I've kind of been the guy that's overlooked. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody really talks about me. And that happened for pretty much my first 3 years here. So that kind of what gets me going every day.
Can you relate to DT? I mean, he wasn't real loud. He wasn't real flashy either.
The funny thing is, we was both roommates, so the room was quiet. Wasn't nobody, barely say anything. But yeah, I can relate to him. Yeah.
What do you see in Trey Dez? Obviously, coming from Zachary, he's gonna look up to you. So first day, he flashed all of us. Wow, what do you see in that guy? And how far can he grow?
Me personally, just another day, you know what I'm saying? He played at Zach, but I actually knew him from a while ago because we played on the same AAU team. He was on the younger team, so I've been knowing him for a long time. But just to see him grow has been a good sighting.
Yeah, he's kind of a freak with the size, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's pretty quick for that. He's got to grow into his body a little bit, you feel like?
Grow, not so much, but I feel like once he understands the offense and he just gains that confidence, and that goes for everybody, he's gonna be okay.
Time for one more.
You talked about how last year you felt like you had some drop balls. What did you work on this year specifically to get better?
I couldn't even tell you what month I started, but it's been 100 footballs every day on the jug machine, whether it be straightforward, turn sideways, over the shoulder, at minimum 100 a day, and that still goes on to this day. So I'll be doing it again tomorrow, so yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem.
Josh, you've been here for a while, so you've kind of seen the process with different coaches. How does this fall camp compare to maybe some previous, and is there a different feeling or a vibe in the building?
From previous fall camps, I believe that this fall camp has a lot more ingenuity and a lot of closeness with the players. Coach Kelly provides us with a lot of opportunities to get outside the facility, go to different places together as a team. So I think the bonding is very strong with the team. We also have a very strong leadership council on the team. We meet, we coordinate things with Coach Kelly and Coach Flint, and I think that's been a really huge factor going into the summer and into the fall camp.
How would you describe this team so far, and what do you like about what you're seeing?
This team is very gritty, very hardworking, and we have a really strong mentality. We know that we had 10 wins last season, and we know that our goal is the national championship, but we're just taking it one day at a time, and we're going to be our best each day. So I think we have a really good energy going around the facility and a lot of good things going.
Does year 6 feel different in any way? Like, okay, this is finally it for sure, right?
Yeah, this is definitely finally it, but I mean, I'm just taking it day by day. I have a different role on the team. I'm more of a leader. Guys look at me to hold the standard upheld, so I try to do things the right way, above and beyond. So I would say that's a little bit different from years in the past, but I'm just stepping into my role and just taking it day by day.
What's it like to have John Emery back with you? Because maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago, that didn't look like it'd be something that would happen. So now he's back, and you two guys are the 2 6-year guys, right? in the back.
Yeah, it's great to have John back. Both came in 2019, so me and John have a really close bond. In the running back room, we're both pretty much the leaders of the room, and Coach Frank really relies on us a lot to make sure everybody's in order and in the right place at the right time. So it's really great having them in the room.
Yeah, same thing. You talked about your role being a little different. How have you kind of put your arm around Caden or
Caleb.
Caleb, thank you. How have you kind of make sure to help them grow?
It started in the spring with Caleb, of course, but when first day Caden got on campus, me and him kind of connected, and every day since that, football school and OTAs and stuff like that, we've just been together all the time. I'm just giving him tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. I watched his reps, he's watched my reps, so it's almost like a big brother, little brother thing. He's not from Texas, but he went to high school in Texas, so we can kind of relate to that. So it's a pretty close relationship that we have, and I just want to see nothing but good for him. He's a good kid, and he's really funny, has a really good personality, so it's fun to be around him, and I think the running back room is in a good place right now.
Yeah. As a room, how excited are you guys that this offense is kind of gravitating toward runs, more outside runs, more screen game stuff to be involved in?
It's amazing, really getting more versatile out the backfield. Coach Sloan has been doing a great job with that. We're just feeding into the energy that he's giving us, and we're doing everything to the best of our ability. So it's exciting.
I know you guys don't want to talk about scheme, but to have an offensive line like that and to be able to know that it's going to be utilized, does it reinvigorate you, on these hot days, knowing that you're going to get more touches? And the ball's really going to get shared a lot more.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing but positive. I don't see anything negative about that. Our O-line is more of a veteran O-line. Will, Emery, Deli, Miles and DJ right now. So everything's looking great. We're really close with the O-line. We talk a lot more than years in the past. So I feel like we have a really good mindset going into this week 1.
Josh, you mentioned year 6 earlier. What was kind of the biggest factor for you to be like, hey, I want to run this back one more time?
I know that I haven't had the most opportunities to really play the full season or get the most reps that I could possibly get. I felt like it was a good idea for me to come back and just have one more big bang as a leader on the team and really try to give back to the younger guys after I get out of here. I think we have a chance to go far this year, and the leadership, the coaching staff, everything's kind of wrapping itself around, and it's a really good energy right now. So I just feel like it was a good idea to come back and finish strong.
What would you describe Caleb Jackson as a running back? How would you describe what you've seen from him so far?
Caleb is a hard worker. Me and him was paired up this whole summer. We're both going back and forth, competing every day, getting each other bigger, faster, and stronger. Put on a lot of muscle this offseason. He's a very, very talented runner, fast, strong. He can do it all. We're just taking it day by day. Me and him are going back and forth, always in communication, always trying to make sure that we do this, do that, and trying to make it to the best of our ability. We're going to have a long season, so we know that everybody's going to get some touches, so we feel like we're in a really good position with both of us.
Seeing John on that first day and seeing how quick he was really kind of surprised me, especially coming off an injury. Being much mileage he's had on him. Like, what do you see in him this season as far as kind of, refocused and ready?
I see a lot of resilience. I know he had a late season injury last year, the ACL, like you said, but I mean, as soon as he got the surgery, he was in the training room working out. John has a very, very talented skill set, very elusive, very shifty, and after coming back and just seeing him play, I mean, he didn't even looks like he lost a step. I mean, I attest that to his work ethic and the way that he trains in the off season. So he's, like you said, he's more of a veteran player, so he knows what it takes to get there. We both were on a natty team, so we've seen guys go down and come back. So I feel like that helped him come back a little bit faster.
You guys kind of similar in that you feel like you got something to prove?
Yes, sir, definitely. Being in college for 6 years isn't everybody's dream, of course, but you just roll the dice and play the hand that you have, and I just feel like we're just going to stay positive and be the best that we can.
I feel like you made the most of it. How many degrees you got now?
I have 2 degrees. I have a business marketing degree and an MBA. Right now I'm just taking unmatriculated classes, just staying focused for the season, just for this last semester, but we're all focused in the running back room as far as academics, keeping our grades up, so that's a big thing for us.
Congrats. What's it like with Nuss, right? Obviously with Jake, you knew that you kind of had to be ready for anything. With Nuss, do you feel like we got to do a lot more of the dirty work, digging dudes out, and really staying focused on what our assignments are?
Yeah, of course. Not more so. We got to do more of it, but definitely got to stay focused on our keys and our reads, our pass protection is a big thing going into this season for all the running backs. I love how Nuss has stepped up and became more of a leader, talking a lot more, telling everybody what to do, just stepping into that role. It's very comforting. I can't wait to see what he does this season. He can sling it, man. He's a gunslinger for sure.
As a guy who's been through a lot of camps, is there a point where, I don't want to say it gets easier, but do you get over the hump at some point?
Yes, sir. I'm doing it for so long. I mean, and I've seen people do it for so long. So it's all a mentality, mindset. Some days it's tough, but we also got to understand that we're doing this for a reason. We have an end goal. So whenever you get those negative thoughts, you also got to remember what you're doing this for and what your goal is. So I think that's been more of a mature mindset that I've had, and I'm trying to instill in the rest of the team. So I think it's a good thing.
Just your thoughts on the offense. Some people would say, how could they be just as good, if not better, when you lose a Heisman Trophy winner and 2 first-round draft picks at wide receiver? But it seems to be you guys are confident you're going to score a lot of points and move the football.
Well, last year's team is last year's team. We have a new team this year going into the season. We have a different identity. I feel like that we're finding our identity right now in fall camp, and I feel like we're in stride to make it there. And I'm not trying to compare us to last season at all. We're just trying to be our own team and take it one day at a time.
You were around and you saw Joe Burrow and how he handled himself. Jaden was a little bit different, not as vocal. Is there anything about Garrett to you that has stood out so far?
Yeah, I just feel like Garrett's personality is very fun to be around. He makes you want to play for him, if you understand what I'm trying to say. He has a lot of energy, a lot of spirit when he plays, a lot of competitiveness, and it just makes you want to play for him. And I feel like that's a great thing to have at quarterback position and just kind of getting this team where it needs to go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank y'all.
What's up, Sai'vion? Can you just talk about Bo Davis and Kevin Peoples and how they've helped your development over this past spring and summer, and just what kind of little details have they kind of taught you that you kind of helped open your game up?
Well, first of all, Bo Davis and Kevin Peoples, they're two amazing people. I feel like they really opened my eyes to the pass rush world. You know, before it was like my knowledge on pass rush was if he do this, then do this, but I was never taught how to get him to do certain things. So being able to learn that from two of the best defensive line coaches in the country is an amazing thing.
I guess a lot of fans have talked about where they should play you, inside, outside. Are you playing in both spots, or where are you primarily right now?
Well, I'm primarily a defensive end, but I mean, if they ask, I'll easily play both spots if I have to.
When you look back at last year, I think the Mississippi State game was one you kind of flashed in and made some plays in. What's the key to having those things happen more often, do you think, this year?
Well, I feel like the main key is being able to slow the game down. You know, making plays like that, it don't happen when everything is going fast paced in your mind. But once you know, sit down, take the time and watch the film and learn the technique, things get very slow for you, and that's when you start to make plays.
Bo Davis seems to be rather intense. Have you kind of seen the difference from last year not really having a true defensive line coach to now having one of the best in the country?
Well, yeah, we need something like that. Like, we need a coach that's going to be able to get on our players, but if they mess up, even if it's on the little things, I feel like we lacked a little bit of that last year, but having that coach that cares about us and is willing to, you know, dog us out just to, you know, correct something is something we need.
How good is it to have some numbers in the room? Finally, you're not running through every rep. It feels like at least you got some people to work with. You get a break every now and again. I mean, do you feel like the room is filling out and you guys can be competitive?
Yeah, it felt great. And not only is our room filling up, but it's not just quantity, it's quality players that we getting filled up in our room. So being able to get out the game and know that whoever's going in is able to execute the same way that I am is a huge relief.
You're working it in mostly?
Yeah.
So kind of tell me a little bit about the tackles. We talked to Jacobian earlier in the week, I guess. What is he, bringing to the room now that he's kind of like the leader, I guess, of that room? And what are you seeing in the transfers and Paez and such?
Well, like you said, he bringing something that we missing, and that's a leader. Being able to lead the D tackles, as I watch him, try to get the D tackles psyched up and stuff like that. I feel like that's something we kind of missed last year too, and I feel like he understands like what's at stake and that he needed to step up, and that's what he's doing.
As far as the transfers, anything that you can notable about Paez or such?
Oh yeah, Gio really starting to stand out to me. His quickness off the ball, and Chemo too. He got a very quick first step off the ball, and that's something we need.
Relaford's a guy that gets a lot of talk, just as a freshman, to have kind of that frame and that body right now and be able to, contribute. What are you seeing in him? What's important for him to take in this August so that, he might see some time during the season?
Gabe, he got everything that you look for in a defensive end. He got the strength, the speed, the size. Most important thing for him right now is just to soak in all the experience that he's getting from us going against the two top offensive tackles in the country. I feel like being in a position like that, a freshman in a position like that, not too many freshmen get that kind of position. So.
Yeah. You mentioned him. What is it like that Emory and Will both to have so many years of experience now, right? Just as juniors, but what is it like to go up against them and make you better?
Well, you know how everybody say iron sharpen iron. So with our mindset going in, it's like the way we think of it is if we causing them trouble, if they having trouble stopping us, then who in the country like could mess with us? If we putting a good fight against Will, the number one tackle in the country, is like anything under that is like, yeah.
Do you feel like the defense is putting up a better fight? I mean, last year in these fall practices, it was pretty evident that there were some deficiencies on the defense. But this year, it seems like you guys are taking steps forward. It feels like you guys are putting up more of a fight.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I feel like our biggest steps are being taken in the backfield right now. Our backfield is definitely improving. I could see it, just watching people like Major Burns and some of the upcoming freshmen. Yeah, we definitely taking a huge step.
How motivated is this group? And if you guys kind of heard, there's been talk, okay, can this D-line get it done this year? They can be good enough. Do you hear that kind of talk, or what's the attitude overall?
We hear the talk, but we try our best to ignore it because we don't let last year define us on who he is now. What was the other part of your question?
Well, just, there's been talk, is this LSU defensive line, they can be good enough, this year? Does that motivate you guys, or do you hear that kind of stuff? Or?
Oh, it motivates us a lot, but I wouldn't see that as our main motivation. I say one of our top motivations right now is just not wanting to become who we was last year, and we know a lot of us on the defense is senior now, and we know what's at stake. Like, this our last year, so we gotta leave it all on the table, like graduate champions.
How would you describe Blake Baker, your new defensive coordinator, and how is he making you guys better right now?
I say Blake is an amazing person. He knows how to get the work done, but he also knows how to compensate with the players, get down on their level and be able to build that bond, because I feel like that's what you need most. But I've been knowing Coach Baker since my freshman year, so our bond was already there, but the things that he's doing to this defense is some great things.
Blake Baker shows up with cleats. Have you ever had a coach who shows up with cleats and is willing to get down and dirty with you guys?
Well, I had one my freshman year, Coach Carter. He used to get in the pads and stuff, but other than that, from a defensive coordinator stance, I never see them getting cleats and actually, get their hands dirty with us.
I never saw him in pads. He must have done that when we weren't there, huh?
Yeah, he was definitely in pads.
Any more for Sai'vion?
Yeah, that's pretty imposing.